Tim McKinney.
I'm Andy Nelson.
Welcome to Always a Critic. This week we're going to be talking about the DVDs Hard Candy and Scary Movie 4.
That's right.
We'll also be talking about some other topics as well as we go through the show, and I'll let you know what those are in a little bit. But let's get to our first movie, which is Hard Candy.
Yeah, Hard Candy.
What did you think about that movie?
For me, I think it was pretty original in terms of what the plot was about. But given my short attention span, it seemed kind of long.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was original because it's to do with a person who's trying to pick up young girls over the internet, and it churns a twist to it that
the pedophile becomes the hunted.
Yeah, the pedophile becomes the hunted,
and not by the police.
Yeah, and you almost start to feel sorry for the poor guy.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah,
I almost did.
Yeah, and there's a lot of adult subject matter in this movie.
Well, of course.
So I mean, you don't want your children watching this movie.
Exactly.
But it's a very interesting movie because it takes it has all the twists and turns to it right up to the end.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who's who and what's what. I mean, as far as the background, so to speak, on this.
The elements of it reminded me of Saw.
Yeah.
Having to give something up in order to survive.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was a very, very well put together movie for it was an independent film.
It was, yeah.
And
I like the idea of how it was simple. It was just most of the times the two actors within in the setting. It's not jumping location to location.
Yeah.
The same stationary setting. That's what I liked about it.
Exactly. And I thought it was a very good movie as far as the substance in it. It started out a little bit kind of iffy.
Yeah.
Like where's this going and how's this gonna go? But once it got into the good parts, it really kept you kind of glued to your seat because you were wondering what's going to happen next. What's this girl going to do next?
One thing I didn't care about, and I'm glad you mentioned the beginning, because one thing I didn't care about was when it showed them typing on a computer. Nobody types like that.
Yeah.
Nobody types out the word OK, O-K-A-Y. They type OK.
Yeah.
They don't use full words. And
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
They don't type out U anymore. They
there
put the letter U.
There was some continuity in it that wasn't just the proper. The proper thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was a pretty good movie for the substance of it. The girl in it that played the part in that movie, which her name escapes me right now, but she did a really great, superb job, I believe, in that.
I think she's gonna go far, man.
Yeah, because she really had you thinking that she was that way, and that's a good actor when they can make you think.
Oh yeah,
they're a certain way or whatever.
She did that part well.
Yeah, and I just thought that it was a really good movie. Now, how I would rate it is I'm going to look at it in the point of view of originality in it, and kind of the substance of it. So in that viewpoint, not really the production value because it is a little off the original production value, but I would say I would give it 3.5 stars.
I give it 3.5 as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, the performances were well. In terms of actors and setting, it was simple. And one other thing I really liked about it is the way that the little girl did things to this guy that just messed with his mind.
Yeah.
I love movies and shows that messes with your mind like that.
Yeah, that's something I'd like to interject there too, because it's not, when you see some of the things she does, and
you think it's actually happening, but in reality she's using it to scare him out of his mind.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's the adult subject matter, but so I don't want to get into details about it, But the fact of the matter is she really plays with his mind, like you're saying, a lot to where he's breaking down. I mean, just breaking down into like crying and everything else.
Yeah.
This tough guy is becoming like a little baby.
This predator all of a sudden is breaking down and becoming almost.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought that was a good part to the movie. And that's kind of what made me go with the 3.5 because not really, like I say, not really for the production value of it, but just for the whole substance of it. That the writers and everybody came together and they made a good movie. That there again, and something I like to say about this too, and a lot of these movies that are coming out today, is if you've noticed, most of the movies coming from the big corporations, the big movie companies, are not as good as the movies coming from independent studios.
Thank you. I've been trying to say it since Miramax.
Yeah.
Because the big movies are usually remakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or remakes.
Yeah, and it seems like they're putting a lot of money into it, But the more
flashy
money,
visual effects. That's all they're going for.
The more money they're putting into it, the more they're running it. I think, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And the simple, you know, they'll say, like my mother used to say, less is more. You know, it works in this as well because the less you have these things in there, you know what I mean? It's actually a better movie. And I think a lot of the independent movies coming out today are a lot better than some of the large corporations are coming out with.
All you future filmmakers out there, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Quality, and substance, and dialogue over flashy effects.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we grew up with stuff like Superman and things like that, and we wanted those special effects. But now I think we've kind of gotten away from that now, that we really don't need that in our movies as much as we need substance in it. You know, we need to know what's going on in the movie as to this guy can fly or something.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but that's what I like about it. You know, I mean,
there's just something nostalgic though about going back and seeing, the little black line around Superman. He's flying around the pre-filmed cityscape and the wires that pop in the frame every now and then. There's something nice to see every now and then.
And to tell you what really gets me today is to show you how some of these movies are not really working well, and not to get off our subject of the movie here, but I mean this has something to do with
Superman.
But is a lot of the animated things now are bigger than than the big motion pictures are. You know what I mean? Like you got Shrek and all them that the parents and kids alike like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More than what's coming out of these studios. That's junk, basically, is what the best way I can put it, because there's a lot of junk coming out there, and it's good to see a movie like Hard Candy, and as you say, Mirror Mask, even though I gave it a lower rating, and kind of felt that it was a little off the wall as far as movies go, I still got to commend it for that fact that they took a little bit of money and made a very good production.
Well, I commend them for doing more with less.
Exactly.
For trying something new. For not going, with the big crowd.
Exactly. And then,
thumbs up to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep up the work.
And, you don't need all that stuff in there, you know what I mean? And the reason I said Mirror Mask wasn't, what I thought, was because it had substance, you know what I mean, to a certain extent. You know what I mean? And the production quality was good, but there was just some things missing there. And I know we don't want to get back into Mirror Mask.
Yeah, we're way off topic.
But Hard Candy is a movie kind of... what I'm trying to say is the independent studios are really coming up with some good stuff.
And when I read the summary for that movie, I thought, wow, about the subject matter with a pedophile and all this, I thought, it's going to be really controversial. How are they going to tactfully pull this off?
Yeah, exactly.
They did a good job.
Yeah, they did. And I thought, when I sat down to watch it, I thought, I sit down with my wife to watch it, and I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe this ain't something, that we should be watching together or something, because I didn't know if it was going to have, subject matter in there that wasn't, too polite or whatever. But I thought they pulled it off really good. I mean, there wasn't nothing that was gratuitous and, and showing things or making it into something that, you know what I mean, it was a good substance movie. You know what I mean? And that's why I give it what I give it, because of the substance of the movie. I think it's a good movie. But yeah, if you want a pretty good movie and with good twists and turns in it, I would definitely go and see, go and rent Hard Candy. You can't go see it, you gotta rent it.
That's the sad thing about indie films, they only come up in selected theaters.
Exactly.
It's a shame.
Now our other movie we want to talk about is Scary Movie 4.
One of my favorites.
I know this has been on DVD for a little while.
Well, yeah, it has.
But I love these movies. These movies are great.
I love the Scary Movie, the series.
Yeah, they're just and they're working on number 5, I think, to come out soon. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to release that, but Scary Movie 4, I thought it was really good. It kind of rounded out the whole franchise of that movie.
It did.
Yeah.
Even though I think you said this before when it first came out, it did kind of centralize on one certain movie, but it did spoof other movies as well.
Yeah, exactly. It took like the first movie of its kind was Hot Shots and Loaded Weapon 1.
You can't forget the what was the name of the series with Leslie Nielsen?
Oh yeah, Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. I was going to say
to use the spoofing and things like that. And I think that kept to the tradition of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though there's been a few out there that doesn't do that, but it's kept to that tradition. And I guess you'd have to say the first one to do that, really, now that I think about it in my mind here, is Airplane. Was the very first one to do that, really, I guess. And Spaceballs. Stuff
Anything
like that.
by Mel Brooks, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Spoofing off of stuff. But back to Scary Movie 4. I thought it was really good. At first I didn't know if it would be, because they were trying to do it in a different way than they did the other ones, and I didn't think it was going to be as good. But I have to admit, I thought it was really good.
Well, I kind of enjoyed how the spoofing flowed from one movie into another. I think it did that pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I would give it also 3.5 stars.
I'd give it 3.5 as well.
3.5.
I enjoyed it. Wasn't really the best.
No, it wasn't the best. But it's about the best I've seen come out of a major studio.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, you know. But I thought Scary Movie 4 was really good. Now, another movie that I've seen, and I know it's not on our list, but I just wanted to mention it. I don't know if you've seen it or not, because usually we make out this list, and then we both try to watch it, you know, to see if we can. But is a movie called Inside Man with Denzel Washington. This is a really good movie, and I'm not going to get on that because we got other stuff to go through here. But
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, but it's a really good movie. Denzel Washington's in it, and it's a really good movie. Get that. Check it out, and we'll review it later on after you've had a chance to watch it and that. But
fighting chance here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but I just want to tell everybody out there that if they're looking for something good to watch, go get that. That's really good. Then we're gonna shift. We're gonna shift a little bit here.
Shift gears.
Yeah, shift gears a little bit from what we usually do. The DVDs and stuff. Of course, this show is always a critic, so
it's about entertainment.
Exactly.
Entertain.
We're gonna comedy. Stand-up comics, if we find something we want to talk about them about, or movies, music, video games, all that. We're gonna review them all.
If it can be criticized, we'll criticize.
Exactly, and we're gonna let you know what's good, what's not good, and so you can make a definitive decision of what you want to watch or what you want to do. But we're gonna switch over and we're gonna do some video games.
My specialty.
Andy here, he loves video games. And he's played some of these. I played a few of these myself. My wife has played some. And we're going to talk about a few of these video games, and maybe you'll want to go out and get you one. The first video game is Black.
Okay. The game is Black for PlayStation 2. Might be out for other consoles. I'm not sure. It's the standard first-person shooter, military type of game. We just go around shooting the bad guys. And at first I thought it was really good because it was hyped up as being where anything that you shoot in real life that would show damage in the game.
Oh, wow.
And it pretty much does. If there's columns, you shoot them, and the concrete and dust flies out. You can break tombstones, and they break apart.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
The big focus was on the guns and the shooting. Yeah. And they pulled that off pretty well.
Wow.
However, it's weird because the levels seem kind of long, yet the game is short. There's only about 8 levels to it.
Oh, okay. And
it does get pretty repetitive, just shooting the guys over and over, and they do tend to soak up a lot of bullets.
Oh, wow.
And it seems you can take the bad guys out faster on the hard difficulty than on easy.
Yeah.
So,
have you looked up to see if there's like any cheat codes or anything for that one?
Most games now they don't have cheat codes for the Game Shark or the Action Replay.
Oh, do they really?
None of the old school codes. You put them in by the controller.
Yeah.
Konami
I used to love that because you can get in there and you can do what you wanted to do in there, and get all the big bucks like in Sims or something like that. You can get the good money and all that to make what you wanted to make. But Black. I haven't played Black. I've wanted to. I've seen the commercials for the game, and it looks really neat. You know what I mean? But
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just never got the chance to really because I usually try to pick and choose my movies where me and my wife both like to play them, and she's not really all the time into something like that.
See, I am. So.
Yeah, so and I'm sure people out there are the same. They got their wife don't want to. But I see what you're saying, and it does look like a good game, and I'm more than likely going to go out and try it. I definitely will.
It's pretty good.
I
give it 3 stars.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that as I said before, it's repetitive, just running and gunning, and it's kind of old, but in small doses, it's a good game.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good, man. I mean, it's games. I love games.
So do I.
The next game we're going to talk about
one of my favorites
is Yakuza.
One of my
and there again, I haven't played that one, so that's a fairly new game, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it's new, and most people would call it a Grand Theft Auto clone set in Japan, but it's actually not. Yes, there is violence, but because it's Yakuza or like the mob or mafia, there's going to be violence involved. But unlike Grand Theft Auto, where you just run around and hurt and injure innocent people. There's a story and there's reason, there's substance behind the violence.
Yeah.
You don't go around just beat up anybody. You don't beat up the rival Yakuza families.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because like in Grand Theft Auto, you just walk up to a police officer and you start punching him.
Exactly.
Or whatever. In this, there's a reason why you're doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Well, see, that's the kind of substance we need in the video game, instead of just, browbeating people and just walking around killing people and stuff. You know, that's.
I'm surprised that the same people that had a hard time with Grand Theft Auto didn't have a hard time with this.
Yeah.
But they pulled it off really well.
Wow.
The only thing I wish is, as with usual, it's Japanese. It's set in Japan, so it's set in around Tokyo, I believe, or a Tokyo-like town by a different name.
Yeah.
They did get big names to dub it, which I kind of wish they didn't. They should have just kept the original Japanese with voice titles.
Oh, okay.
Or subtitles.
Because it's kind of got like that kind of off sequence.
Actually, no, they did pretty good lip syncing,
really?
And they get big name actors.
Well, that's good.
But in the dialogue, they still use Japanese terms like anani and oyabun.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So
it's kind of something that somebody didn't know Japanese or whatever. It's kind of hard to remember, or they didn't know what's going on.
It's pretty easy. But the one guy keeps calling the other guy little brother, which translates the ani part.
Okay.
And the oyabun is pretty much the head of the Yakuza family. Different families within.
I see what you're saying. So it's a pretty good game, then. It's
the gameplay and the controls feel a little sluggish.
Really?
And there are load times between different sections of the city, which I took away from it.
Yeah.
And it's not a classic. The fighting style is where you see the guy, you run up and you start fighting.
Yeah.
You see the guy, and it loads up a certain arena.
Oh, okay.
That kind of takes away from it.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like Mortal Kombat used to be, kind of where you got the arena there where you're fighting. Is that something like that?
Of course, it's the arena is if it's in a nightclub, then it is a nightclub.
Nightclub. Oh, okay.
But in terms of originality, the way they use the weapons,
yeah,
it's really enjoyable.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good game. I'm gonna have to get out there and try that one myself.
Yeah, I wish I could give it a higher score, but like I said, the load times, the sluggish controls.
Yeah.
Another thing is the radar.
Yeah.
There's one or two stealth missions where you got to sneak around. You can't move the camera, which really takes away from it. And the radar is no help at all. That really drug the score down.
Yeah.
I really wish I could give it a higher score, but I give it 2.5.
You give it 2.5? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, you can't give every game, you play all that.
I really like to, because it's original.
Yeah.
And it's set in Japan, which is totally different from around here.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Another game here we got is Monster House.
Now that's one I have not played yet.
I played a little bit of this, but my wife played most of the game. And she liked it a lot, but it kind of there's some places in there that I think for little kids it might not be a good idea because there's some areas in it, and I've heard that the movie itself scares kids a lot.
It's more for adults than for kids.
So, and the game's kind of the same way because when my wife was playing it, she kind of went into this room and there's like this woman breathing in there, and kind of crying and breathing hard. And that kind of made her a little nervous, and because it's kind of weird the way that the game plays that out, you know what I mean? But other than that, it's a pretty fun game to play. If you like the movie, you like the game. Yeah. That's basically what I can say. I would give it 3 stars.
Really?
I think it's a pretty good game, especially for kids. I would say not kids, but teenagers. More probably about 11, 12 years old and on up is what I would say, because of the kind of the woman crying in there and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I would say 3 stars for that.
I've read it, but it seems like more like a kiddie game.
Yeah.
I'm more to the action, like I said, like Yakuza and Black.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, the Metal Gear Solid series. It's more my cup of tea.
But if you want to get one of those, it's an alright game. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's just one of those, that you got to have kind of a taste for it before you do it. Another game here we want to do is Barnyard. Now, I don't know if did you play that one too? Or
I have not played that one yet either.
Again, my wife, she likes the cutesy little games.
Yeah, see, I'm not big on cutesy.
Yeah.
Give me a gun, let me shoot some.
And she went at Barnyard and she played that, and she liked that one pretty good. She liked the cows, making fun of the mailman and all that kind of stuff. And it was a fun game, and that is set up more for younger kids. I mean, if you're going to get a game for your kids, they're like say 6, 7 years old, right in there. That's the game I would recommend for you to get, because it's kind of cute. The levels are small, so you don't have as many levels to go through, and to get where you want to go and all that. But Barnyard, I would have to give probably 3 stars.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a pretty fun game, but like I said, unless you're 6, 7 years old, or like my wife who likes those kinds of games, you're probably not going to like that game that much. But as far as games goes, it's a pretty good game. You know what Now I think we're gonna switch here again from the games, because I mean we could go on and on about games. I know I could.
So could I.
We just don't have enough time in our show for that.
Unfortunately.
But we're going to talk about anime.
Ah, my other specialty.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a couple movies in that. At least one, if we can get it in here, is Ghost in the Shell. Now, I know you like that movie, and I've seen parts of the movie, but I have not ever seen the whole total movie.
Really?
No, I have not. But the parts I have seen of the movie are really good.
What parts did you see?
You know, it slips my mind right now because I can remember parts of it, but I can't remember it totally. And I do remember though what I seen of it. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it came out back in '95, I believe, and you know, it is big. It's considered a cyberpunk thriller. I really enjoyed it. I actually liked the dubbed version. It was pretty good, but I still like the original, the Japanese version better.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they say the Matrix movies got their idea for the Matrix off of these movies.
Yeah.
Being where everything is connected into the internet with a cyber brain and all that instant information.
Yeah.
I really like the idea behind it. The use of their, I think in the movie they call it thermo something camouflage.
Oh wow.
Actually, in the University of Tokyo, they actually devised that. They built something like that.
Yeah, I seen something on that.
I sent you that website.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
But and that, you know, so a lot of things in there are real world. Most of the weapons are based on a real counterpart, and it's I just can't find the words to say how much I liked it actually.
I thought it was a really good movie from what I can remember of it, and I would have to say if I rated it, I would probably give it. Of course, I don't want to do it because I haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen in the movie, I would give it 3.5 stars.
I give it 4.5.
You give it 4.5 stars, and I'm sure I probably would too if I can, you know, see it, and I will. I'll go out there and see it, and in another show, I'll let you know what I thought about it. Because I can remember parts of the show, but I can't remember totally about the show. You know what I mean? But it was a good show, and so yeah, that's what I rated. But we're gonna move on to something else here. Or did you want to talk about the second part of Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah, I'll talk about the second part.
Okay.
We're talking about Ghost in the Shell 2. It's actually called Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence.
Yeah.
It's a sequel, of course, to Ghost in the Shell. I enjoyed it. The visuals, the way they did the animation with the CG was amazing.
Yeah.
Especially, I told you this before, it was a 5-minute parade sequence that took a complete year to make, a 5-minute sequence.
Yeah.
And it continues on where the first movie left off, about these detectives searching. Well, I won't give the plot away, especially since I'm not sure how many people have seen it. But there's actually a very good message that about in this age of technology about what defines what is human.
Yeah.
Where everything is connected to the internet and cyberized and always connected. You know, I said that connected with the internet, but you know, in this age of such high technology, where people are even augmented with cybernetic parts, it was considered human.
Yeah, exactly.
And the story brings that up.
You know, that's something I was going to talk to you about is anime. Anime is something that a lot of people really have not seen. I mean, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of the video stores and things don't have it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a hard thing to find in a way.
And that's really a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame because there's a lot of good anime out there.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bad too, but for the most part, it's good. And unlike American cartoons, you know, most anime actually have some kind of decent message and a lot of hidden references.
Yeah, I know. I remember seeing. I can't think of the name of it right now, but the one with the pig.
Porco Rosso.
Porco Rosso. I remember that was the first one I think I've ever seen of anime, and I loved that movie. I thought that was a really good movie, and that kind of brought me into the anime thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But a lot of people, you know, they haven't, and that's what, you know, like you say, the sad thing about it is just a lot of people have not seen those because they're kind of hard to find. You know what I mean? Unless you go to a specialty store.
Well, certain kinds, like Dragon Ball Z, that's out everywhere. It's on video. There's action figures. But that's not the greatest. I mean, it's not personally one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And let's say the anime that I first saw that got me hooked on it was Paranoia Agent. And that's one of those, as I said before, has a lot of hidden meaning, a lot of hidden references.
Yeah.
You know, where you see birds and there's a meaning to that, and each character's named after something that's connected to them.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That's something not seen in American cartoons that much.
Yeah, and I'd like to ask you guys out there, if you would, to write into us and let us know. Let us know if you've seen anime. You know, I mean, if you like it, what ones you like. We want to hear your letters and you know, emails or whatever, and we might even read some of them on the show. You know, I mean, to tell people, you know, what people are liking out there. And if you want us to do a show, we could do a whole show on anime. That would be a good show to do, actually.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
So, write in, tell us what you want to see in that show, and we'll work that in there, and we want to hear from you about that.
I already got a whole list all planned out, man.
But I think that it's a genre that is kind of walked over, I guess you could say.
Well, see, another thing is, when most people, like older people, think of anime, they see it as nothing more but a cartoon.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of anime is not for young kids. There's a lot of violence, a lot of blood and nudity, and it's not just kids' cartoons anymore.
Yeah. I know they make adult ones and things like that. There's the ones you understand what keep your kids away from and stuff like that. But they do make a good substance, with good substance in it. And I gotta admit, when I first heard of anime, I thought to myself, this is a Japanese thing. Not nothing against the Japanese people or anything, or Japanese, but I just thought, this ain't something that I would like. And then I started watching them, and they're
good, aren't they?
They're good movies and good, segments and stuff, and I really like them. And I think, if you guys out there tried them, you would like them too. But yeah, seriously, send us your letters and emails, and we want to hear about that.
That's right.
Let's
hear about what kind of anime you like, and
we'll
talk about it, and we'll talk about what ones I like.
And we can do a whole show just on anime.
I know, I sure could.
Yeah, and all that, and there's a lot of them on TV too, isn't there? I mean,
there's some.
But it seems like they're growing more in popularity.
Slowly, especially with the late night networks.
Yeah.
But of course, they lose translation because they got to be dubbed, and of course they're edited for TV
content and things like that. Yeah.
Which is why I like to get the DVDs.
Yeah. No kidding. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, and they're not all that expensive. A lot of people think they're really expensive.
Actually, I just found a website. It's a lot like that Netflix, but it's just for anime. You can actually go and rent anime.
Oh wow, that'd be something for people to look up in the search engine or something. Look for something like that. And, find that out. I mean, because that could be helpful to people that want to watch the movies or whatever. We were going to talk about some TV shows and DVDs, but I think we're going to be running out of time here before long. There's a few shows on DVD right now, TV shows, and 24 is one of them that came out on there.
Oh yeah.
Monk is I love Monk too. Monk is a great show. You know a show that I've been wondering why they haven't come out on DVD with is Mythbusters.
Really? Yeah, I love Mythbusters.
I think they should come out with that on DVD, because I think if they came out with that, a lot of people would buy the DVD sets of that.
Well, I know Discovery Channel just released Dirty Jobs DVD. I love that show too.
Yeah, that show's good too. But I mean, if they would release the Mythbusters, I think they would do really good in that. But, I'm not going to get into the whole TV shows and DVD. We'll probably do another show just for that.
Yeah.
Kind of telling you what's out there, what's good and what's not. Because we're almost out of time here. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the show.
I hope so.
Once again, Hard Candy, good movie. Go out, get it, check it out. Scary Movie 4, those are always good. The video games we looked at Black, Yakuza, Monster House, and Barnyard, which all of them are pretty good games. Black has got a little bit in there, but it's a good game, as you say.
Each game's got their nuances.
Yeah, exactly.
And Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, both Ghost in the Shell
2 Innocence.
Yeah, and Monk is out on DVD. And 24, and we're hoping Mythbusters soon.
I hope so.
Well, we're out of time. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week with more exciting DVD reviews and other, not just DVDs, but other reviews.
And other entertainment items.
Exactly. So we hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week. For me, good night.
Take it easy.